Hello and welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. I'm Sibylla and today I ask you, are your dreams really your own? You may have heard me talk about values before, how a person's values are the core of their personality and who they truly are deep down inside. Now, the interesting thing is that values don't just exist for the individual, but also for the collective. Society as a whole has values. And one of the core values of this modern world that we grew up in is individualism. It doesn't matter who you ask, they will all be very quick to point out that they are their own person, that they're free, and that they're not influenced by anybody else's opinion. This narrative is so central to our culture that it's really hard for us to acknowledge that to what extent we actually do depend on others. Your mission today is to find out which dreams are truly your own, apart from what everybody else thinks. Task number 1 is examine your dreams. So your first step in this is you must realize to what extent your dreams and your goals and your wishes, the things that you think about, are influenced by others. Let me please say that this is not necessarily a bad thing. Society, the human collective, is good for us. We are social animals. Again, this goes against the narrative, but realize that it's true. Human beings on their own are very weak. We need society to physically survive and psychologically to thrive. There's some very interesting studies about this, so it's not a bad thing. I'm not going for eliminate everything that comes from society. That is not my goal. My goal is for you to gain the clarity that you need to know where something comes from. And then you can make yourself independent of it and see, is this truly also my value? And if it is, and it's also society's value, fine, pursue it. Just have that clarity first and make sure it is also what you really truly want. All right? Some examples. I've written down a couple of examples of society's norms and goals. Loving one's family above everything else. This is so universal. Everybody always states, my family is the most important thing in the world. And you know what? For example, myself, I love my family. There's nothing sinister or wrong there. I love my family, but my friends have always been more important. So to me, my friends truly are my family, and it's always been that way. And that really goes against society's grain. Finding your passion and making it your living. I've talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to go into detail now. If you love doing something, that is reason to prioritize it. Attaching a monetary value to it by making it your living, your dream, your career, your business or whatever is not necessary for it to be a priority, to be a passion. Getting married and having kids. I don't think I have to say much about that because society is beginning to cop on to this. This is not the be all and end all. It's not the sole purpose of a woman to have children or of people to be happily paired up in marriage and happy ever after. There's lots more out there to explore. It's not bad if it does suit you, but again, it's not the only thing. Advancing in your job. People feel so pressured that they need to climb the ladder and become managers and and so on and so forth. And what if you like the job where you are and you don't even want to do this? This doesn't seem to be an option in our society. Examine whether your goal there is really your own goal and what you want. Striving for material possessions, such as a house, a car, or things like that. And I've said it before and I'm saying it again. Money is a great thing, and wanting something like this is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't want it just because it's expected of you. So dial back a little bit, take a step back and ask yourself how much this is really what you want. And once you have clarity above this is the first step. It's your task number 1. You can take the next step. And that next step and task number 2 is navigate the unfamiliar. Again, wanting these things isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make you uncool or a sheep or something. You know, to a certain extent, it is part of being human, and there's a lot of good in these values, in these goals, because again, we are dependent as individuals on the society, on the group. Rather, realize why you want something. Is this something that was given to you as you were growing up, as a gift, as something beautiful? Or is it something that you were inherently born with? Because once you acknowledge and realize that, and know it. You can own your own dreams, even if they come from somewhere else. It becomes unimportant because they are your own dreams. You're now certain of it. And you gain, like I said, a certainty and a calm and purpose, a sense of purpose in yourself, which is beautiful in itself. So to find these things that really matter to you, I've written down a couple of questions that you can ask yourself. And they are: imagine money was no object. You had all the money in the world and all the people that you love are ideally cared for. So you don't have a care in the world. How would you spend your days? Where and how would you live? Who would you live with? What passions would you pursue? Passion or passions? How would you, and in what way would you contribute to society? Obviously, these are big questions, so this is not something you can do in the course of a video. You know the ritual I usually suggest. Get comfortable, light a candle, put on some nice music, take some time, take half an hour and just brainstorm, just write out things. Whatever comes to mind. This might take several sessions, a couple of days or weeks. Again, this goes far beyond this video, but it's very worth the effort because the answers to these questions give you a clue as to which goals and dreams are truly meaningful for you personally and are worth your while and the effort. That brings me to task number 3, let me know. Hit the reply button on the email that you got the link to this video with and tell me what you take away from this video. What are your dreams and goals like? You don't have to share the private details, of course, but what are your insights from this video? Is a lot of it, are you aware of the influence of society, or is this something, a new thought for you? Are you maybe struggling with it a little bit? I reply to every email, I promise. And if you didn't get the link to the video in an email, that means you're not part of this Wild Spirits community yet, and you should join us. Go to wildspiritscoaching.com and fill in that little form there. You'll get 1 email per week. It's 100% spam free. You'll get a lot of additional information and articles and recommendations of books and other resources. And sometimes you get exclusive offers that are only for my subscribers that nobody else ever gets to see. So go to wildspiritscoaching.com and sign up, or you can Google Wild Spirits Coaching. That'll get you to my website as well. Thank you for watching.